Hi, it's State Representative Jim Walsh. I'm here in the gallery above the floor of the Washington State House of Representatives with my good colleague Peter Abbarno and neighbor in the legislative district world. And we're here today to talk about Initiative 2111. It's recently been officially certified by the Washington State Secretary of State. And as we have with the other initiatives as they become certified, we made a motion on the floor of the House behind us, and Peter made the motion, to instruct the committee of the legislature, which is assigned to the initiative, to give it a hearing, to actually give it a public hearing so people could come in and speak to it and we could take testimony. As with the other motions, that motion was denied on a party line vote. All the Republicans voted for the hearing. All the Democrats voted no hearing on 2111, at least not yet. Initiative 2111 is a little different than some of the other initiatives. It is a prohibition going forward on a state income tax. Now, a lot of people think that that's already illegal or unconstitutional in Washington. It's not. The Washington State Constitution could allow for a state income tax, but it would have to be, in the language of the Constitution, uniform across all classes of property. That means it would have to be a flat income tax. And most of the people who support this idea don't want a flat income tax. They want a progressive income tax that goes up depending how much income you have. So it's complicated, but we felt it was important, given how many new taxes are being passed on the floor behind us here, that we say clearly in the law that the tradition of Washington, which has been to have no state income tax, will continue, and that it will be a law that there will be no state income tax in Washington. Now, you're going to hear a bunch of other things about 2111. Some opponents will say it does too much, that it may be another way to try to repeal the capital gains tax. It's not. There's a separate initiative that does that. They'll say that it would get rid of the business and occupation tax, the B&O tax. It would not. It's clearly drafted to prohibit a personal income tax in the state of Washington. And that's kind of the big picture. I'll throw it to you, Peter, to talk about the motion you made and maybe some of the more practical kind of kitchen table elements of this issue.
Well, and the motion we made today was to suspend the rules and refer the 2111 to the Finance Committee with direction to actually have a hearing. When you have 430,000 Washingtonians signing on to an initiative, they should have the right to have a hearing to tell the legislature why we should just pass this initiative and make it law. 2111 is about a personal income tax, and working families don't need, at this time or at any time, to have more money taken out of their pocket, more money taken away from the kitchen table, and most importantly, Washington politicians in Olympia telling them how to spend their money. Working families know best how to spend their money, and this initiative will help make sure that moving forward that the state of Washington and localities don't impose a personal income tax on you, on the people of Washington State. I don't have to tell you or anybody who's watching this video how hard it is right now at the gas pump, at the grocery store, and at the kitchen table to make ends meet. It's being more and more difficult to make ends meet. Moving forward, a personal income tax, it can break a lot of families. And so that's why this initiative is so important. It's about economic security, it's about affordability, and we have an affordability crisis. But Initiative 2111 would help that. So we tried to get a motion to suspend the rules and refer it to Finance with a hearing. Sadly, the majority voted against allowing the voters in the state of Washington to actually voice their concerns about a personal income tax and why they signed this initiative. Disappointing, but it's a track record because all the other initiatives that have come before this body have also tried to be referred to a committee with a hearing, and the majority continues to vote no.
Yeah, it's a pattern that we've seen. We can only guess why they're so resistant to having a hearing about these initiatives and letting people speak, or maybe we can understand why they don't want that, because these initiatives are very popular and there would be a lot of popular support. But don't worry, whatever we muddle through here at the Capitol, when these initiatives are qualified and certified by the Secretary of State, they're coming your way. And the people will have the ultimate say on these points in policy, whether it's tax related or other. This is a tax reform, 2111, and I think it's one, as Peter has said, that will really give some stability and some relief to families all around Washington. It's a good piece of policy. We hope it'll get a hearing. Right. We hope it'll get a vote. But if it doesn't, you will be the ultimate deciders. And we'll be here fighting for you and pushing for these initiatives to get their moment at the legislative level. Until then, stay strong and be well.